Live. It stars Over the Prairie with 8-time Minnesota Music Award-winning songwriter, musician, author, and historian, Paul Metsa. Check out previous show podcasts at KDAL610.com. Now, here's Paul Metsa.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wall of Love here. Stars. I've got two radio shows. One's called The Wall of Power, Radio Hour in Minneapolis. This one, for the last year and a half, is called Stars Over the Prairie, and we broadcast every Saturday in the Big K, KDL 610 AM, 103.9 FM. Bringing you arts, culture, and entertainment, and cool people from all walks of life in all 50 states. We have a short show today because the UMD football team is going to be coming on the air at 11:30. We wish them good luck. First up, we're going to be talking to Rachel Kilgore, Duluth native, and she's an award-winning songwriter and performer. She's doing a show up in Ely tonight and in Wright, Minnesota tomorrow night, called My Father Loves Me, Love Me, and we're going to talk to her. After that, I'm excited to have Mr. Carl Perkins in the studio. Well, not exactly Carl Perkins.
Close enough, though.
But close enough for Stars Over the Prairie. And his name is Drew Black, and he has got 2 more nights with the $1 Million Quartet at the Duluth Playhouse, which takes place at the North Shore Theater in downtown Duluth, and we are going to be giving away a couple tickets for tonight's performance. But we got to jump right into this and talk to Miss Rachel Kilgore.
Hello.
Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's been a while. I think we talked to you this spring when you were up for Homegrown, but now you are up doing your one-woman show, My Father Loved Me, and you're in one of my favorite towns in the world, Ely, Minnesota, tonight.
I am, yeah. I played in Grand Marais last night, and I'm heading to Ely next. That's true. Ely and then Wright, Minnesota. Well, it's somewhere between Wright and Floodwood. I'm not sure. The address is a little funny on that last one, but Sunday will be the last show of this run that I've done. I did a little small-town Minnesota tour.
That sounds like fun. Now tell us a little bit about the show.
Yeah, so this is an album I put out a couple years ago about my dad after he passed 8 years ago now. Just wrote songs trying to figure out who he was, wanting to get to know him better now that he was gone, and kind of processing losing him, but also just thinking about our relationship and how we could have been closer. And it's been a really special show. The songs can be, I dig right in there, but also it's a little bit funny too. I mean, I'm telling stories between songs and just trying to tell a relatable story about the complicated nature of relationship with dads, and that can look like a lot of things. But I found it's really impactful. People are really responding well to it.
Yes, because everybody has varying relationships with their mother and father, and it's great. What did you, while you were working on this show, what insights did you gain from either your father or your relationship with your father?
Well, I think my dad really taught me that I could do a lot. He really empowered me to feel like I could, fix things and understand how the world worked, and he taught me to really earn people's trust, I think, to be reliable. And I've noticed through singing the songs, something that I'm examining is the way that he really struggled to be vulnerable, and that made it hard to know him in some ways. That, he kept his head down and he worked hard, and I always wanted to have more heart-to-hearts, but he was a little bit shut down, which is a thing I'm finding is a common thing with people with their dads.
Right. Now, what did your dad do?
My dad was a contractor.
Okay.
And mostly self-employed, did a lot of smaller jobs and helped people out, often helped single people who lived alone trying to figure out how to fix up their house. And yeah, he was a really good hard worker, and I was really proud of him. But yeah, there's something about a parent being gone that really makes you wonder if you could have been closer, could have known them better, cracked them open somehow. And I think I'm just trying to do that through my songs.
I personally, I see, when I was looking through your credits, you won the 2017 Carroll Songwriters Festival Award, which is Very, very cool. I've been aware of that festival for years. As a boy, and you're a 2025 McKnight Music Fellowship winner, and other things. You performed at the Kennedy Center and the Lincoln Center. And my relationship with my mom and dad, especially my mother, I always wanted to move to either Austin, Texas, or Nashville. But really, my mother developed leukemia when she was 62 years old, and it was around the time I was thinking about I had enough money to move, and I didn't, because I always wanted to be close enough to my mother. And I'd like to tell anybody out there who's growing up or whatever age they're, you will never regret spending time with your parents.
It's true. It's I don't know. I can remember a few regrettable interactions, but also they shape us, don't they? You know, I actually have a song about, one of the songs on the record is about I ended up moving to Boston, and my dad had been doing okay but had dementia, and he ended up dying not a month after I left. And it's true. I did have some regret that I wasn't there at the end.
Wow.
And
well, so you are at a place called Ethel's Acres tonight in Ely.
I am.
And then tomorrow night you're in Wright at the Dahlbecke Farm. Spell your name. I imagine your website is rachelkilgore.com.
It is. It's spelled, it's a little funny, but yes, that is where all the people can get tickets and stuff. My name is spelled RACHAELKILGOUR.com.
Well, have a great end of the tour. I hope to see you the next time you're in town. When we have more time, we're going to get you in the studio and find out more about Rachel Kilgore and her love for her father.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, Rach.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Break really quick.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll get back with the great Drew Black, who's coming in hot as Carl Perkins, as he's playing in the $1 Million Quartet tonight at the North Shore Theater, which houses the start of the 1914 Duluth Playhouse. But let's hear from people that keep us on the air.
Gray Wolf Lodge, located on gorgeous Pelican Lake in beautiful Orr, is the great getaway in northern Minnesota. Featuring affordable, modernized cabins that rent by the week or even a few days, Gray Wolf Lodge is your place to treat the family or just yourself for a relaxing time away from it all. With great fishing, yoga classes, massage, boat rentals, a sandy beach, a common gathering area with a fire pit, and the gorgeous and rustic Gray Wolf Lodge, hosts John and Carol have thought of everything for your unforgettable stay. Give them a call at 1-800-840-9653 or go to graywolflodge.com to see all that they have to offer. Gray Wolf Lodge, your home away from home in the North Woods.
You're invited to the Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, open for another season for all your candy pleasure. They're located on Scenic Highway 61, 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River. They're third and fourth generation candy makers using traditional copper kettles to make their caramels, fudge brittles, and chocolate-dipped hot air. When you visit Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, be sure and try their famous Nutty Ice Cream Bar. Tell them you heard it on Stars Over the Prairie. Great Lakes Candy Kitchen, located just 10 miles north of Duluth in Knife River.
I'm Joe, and I had Z-LASIK at Weiss Eye Center. The funny thing is I absolutely hated buying a contact solution because I thought it was such a racket having to spend $15 on a bottle of contact solution. And that's just one thing, is just not having to buy that stuff anymore, or glasses or anything like that. For me, it's mainly just I like to hunt and fish and everything, and not having to bring that stuff along, especially in the winter when I go ice fishing and stuff. It gets a pain when I get to the end of the day taking my contacts out, and then if a rattle reel goes off in the middle of the night, I'm fumbling for my glasses to go and try and catch a fish.
Weiss Eye Center is the only clinic to offer blade-free Z-LASIK in the Northland. To find out more and to arrange your free consultation, call 218-625-1917 today or visit weisseyecenter.com for more information. Weiss Eye Center. See the best.
You're listening to Stars Over the Prairie with Paul Metsa right here on KDAL.
My father loved me when he could not love himself. He put his faith in me when he was certain he would fail. So when the world has been unkind and doubts weigh on my mind.
Yes, and that was the lovely Rachel Kilgore, our guest in the last handful of minutes. She's up tonight doing her one-woman show at Ethel's Acres in Ely, Minnesota, one of the coolest little towns in the world. So go to rachelkilgore.com for tickets. Now, I am very excited to announce the Duluth Playhouse has been performing a variety of productions since 1914. They've been housed for the last several decades at the North Shore Theater, where I was honored to do my debut show under my own name, open up for the Great Taj Mahal in 1984. There's two more shows for the $1 Million Quartet. Was about the night in 56 when Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Carl Perkins got together at Sun Studio in Memphis. It's based on a book on that about that occasion. And I've never been. I drove by Sun Studio. I didn't have time to get in, but it's a legendary spot. We have the man Drew Black, who's playing the part of Carl Perkins tonight. We're also going to be giving away a pair of tickets, so stay tuned and line up to call us at 218-722-0839, 218-722-0839. We'll take the third caller. You'll win yourself a pair of tickets to $1 Million Quartet. But right now, I'm going to give it away to Carl Perkins with a little bit of Blue Suede Shoes.
Well, it's a 1 for the money, a 2 for the show, a 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you could do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Well, you can knock me down, stand on my face, or slander my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do, but honey, lay off of them shoes. Now don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you could do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Well, it's a blue suede shoes. A blue suede shoes. A blue suede shoes. A blue suede shoes. Well, you could do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes.
All right, that's little Carl Perkins there. Played this morning by the great Drew Black. Man, that sounded great.
Thanks.
When I'm reading your... Last night I was going over your theater credentials. You performed such a variety of productions: Cabaret, Sweeney Todd, The Winter's Tale, Candlelight Guide, The Full Monty, and The Bridges of Madison County, among the other ones. When you auditioned for the $1 Million Quartet, was to do it in particular for Carl Perkins, or was it just kind of a quote-unquote cattle call to become part of the productions as a whole?
Well, this is kind of an interesting process. It was an online audition. I'm based in New York. Yeah, so they send out a sort of link and asked me to prepare a couple songs for Carl Perkins and one of the scenes. And I didn't hear a callback or anything, and then I just got an offer in my email about a month beforehand.
Wow.
And flew out here, and they flew me out and housed me, and I've been here for the past couple months working on this.
So how long are the rehearsals before the first dress rehearsal?
I think it was a month for this process. Okay. I think it was a little bit longer because we're playing all of our own instruments. So in addition to learning all the lines and the blocking,
right,
we also had to learn all the music for our own instruments, which added another little challenge to this process.
So how long have you been playing guitar?
It's actually pretty recent for me. I started during lockdown and COVID, so 2020. But a few of my castmates have been playing for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been kind of fun to... I play a lot of lead guitar on this. I'm the only electric guitar on stage, so it's cool to be able to do a style that's not typically in my wheelhouse. I usually do sort of finger-style acoustic stuff.
Right.
So we're getting a special Unplugged, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm basically Nirvana on MTV.
Hey, it's Nirvana here on Stars Over the Prairie with Drew Black. Say, so you've got to be rocking a Gretsch Electric.
I'm playing a Telly.
Really?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think Carl Perkins technically played. I think he played a Gibson 335.
He
in real
probably
life.
played a variety of guitars.
Yeah,
I
but
do
he played-
remember seeing him with the Telly.
He played a Telly for some time. I actually picked up a new guitar for this gig specifically. I had a Strat before and
Cool.
kind of.
Well, you can write that off too, right?
Yeah, I sure can. You bet.
True musician right there. Oh, you can write that off. Don't worry about it.
Look, any excuse to get a new instrument. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's very cool. So where you live now? I know you spent you're the reason why we've got the great Drew Black on today is a friend of mine on Facebook reached out because he was old buddies with your mother Vicky.
That's right.
When
Yeah.
she lived in Minneapolis. No,
Hi, Mom.
Well, yeah, hey Vicky, you've got a very talented son, and I bet she's your biggest fan.
She sure is.
Well, where were you born? Were you born in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I'm actually from Colorado, a little ski town called Nederland. I kind of moved around the state a bunch, but landed in Denver. I went to Denver School of the Arts as a vocal music major there, and then went off to college at the Hart School in Connecticut.
Wow.
And I was there for 4 years, got my BFA, and moved to New York about a year and a half ago. So that's where I'm living now.
Well, it's really incredible that you can live this kind of artistic life, and I know personally how tough it is. But what did I'm sure your mother was behind you every step of the way. What did your father think of your career choices?
My dad was also very supportive.
Oh, good.
I got really lucky with my folks. They're very supportive of what I do, and I've been acting since I was maybe in 5th grade or so.
Oh, cool.
So I've been doing it pretty much as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. A lot of people don't know what they want to do so young.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty direct path. My sister's been she's a couple years younger and is trying to figure out what to do. But I'm lucky. I kind of have always known that this is what I want to do. So it's a very direct path for me.
Well, it's a very artistic life. I remember my dad when I was, I started playing guitar when I was about 10, but when I started thinking about getting into the music business, he would always say, Paul, it's a good avocation, but not a very good vocation. And there's been times over the years ago, he was absolutely freaking right. Yeah. But overall, it's very rewarding. So now, the show and it goes on tonight and tomorrow, and we do have a couple of tickets.
People have been itching. Every time you talk about it, we get some phone calls. So I think there are a lot of people that are interested in this.
And feel free to call on. I think we're taking third caller today.
You want to do number 3?
Yeah, let's do number 3, 218-722-0839. Get 2 nice main floor seats for $1 million quartet. So, Drew, when you auditioned for the role of Carl Perkins, did you have any idea about his history or his songs?
Really, I didn't. He's sort of the unsung hero of the 4. Jerry Lee Lewis and especially Elvis and Johnny Cash, they kind of have these big shadows that they cast over the rock and roll history. But Carl was just as influential, if not more so, than all of those guys. He was the one that wrote Blue Suede Shoes, which many people attribute to Elvis. But I mean, I grew up a huge Beatles fan. They were kind of like my introduction into music.
Right.
And doing research, I realized that George Harrison and Paul McCartney were both hugely influenced by Carl Perkins. And, he was very influential to the rock music that we have today, especially of that era. But because he got in a bad car accident before he could perform Blue Suede Shoes on TV, and Elvis kind of stole the spotlight from him.
Was he on his way to the Ed Sullivan Show?
He was on his way to the Perry Como Show.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, Elvis played it on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Right.
And the rest is history. But if he had gotten there first, who's to say what would have happened?
Right. So you met Elvis, Johnny, and Jerry Lee, right? And I imagine those guys are from all around different parts of the country.
Yeah, that's right. Our Elvis also lives in New York, but he's been on contracts all over the country leading up to this. Our Johnny Cash is from North Carolina, and our Jerry Lee Lewis lives in Lubbock, Texas now, but he's from northern Louisiana originally.
Lubbock, Texas, home of Buddy Holly.
That's right.
And a lot of other great musicians. Chris, you're looking at me quizzically.
No, I'm just, I got caller 1 and caller 2, and then the phones went dead. So the next person through is going to win those tickets.
All right.
218-722-0839.
Drew, so what, do you have any idea what your next project is?
Going back to New York and auditioning again. I've been gigging there a little bit at some venues called like the 54 Below and Green Room 42, playing guitar for some people that I
oh,
really
cool.
enjoy. Yeah, it's the nature of this business is you don't really know exactly what is next until it's kind of on you right away.
Right.
It's but it's fun. It's taken me to places of the world that I never would have thought that I would end up in, and it's a good way to travel and see things.
Have you been able to meet any of your acting heroes in the course of this journey of yours?
Honestly, the new artistic associate here at Duluth Playhouse, his name's Charlie Sutton.
Okay.
He's done 11 Broadway shows. He just recently moved to Duluth to start running the Playhouse as an artistic associate. But he is the way that he was able to work consistently, and the leadership that he brought into the room, and the professionalism was just like amazing to work with. And it's fun to see Duluth getting somebody of that caliber. He's going to bring really exciting things to the Playhouse.
Well, it's amazing how much theatrical history Duluth has. I mean, the Duluth Playhouse started in 1914. One of our first guests when Stars of the Prairie started in March of 2024 was Louis Kemp, who was a childhood buddies of Bob Dylan's.
Wow.
In fact, he wrote a book called Dylan and Me, and one of his first jobs was at the Duluth Playhouse.
Huh.
And back, this would have been, those guys were about the same age. Bob graduated high school in 59. So this was probably been early to mid-50s. Louis, hardworking young man, that's how he bought his first car, and it was a cool car.
Oh, I believe it.
But it was from I think he started working at the Playhouse when he was 12 years old.
Well, there's so much music history here. I was at the Super One the other day, and I saw the Duluth Armory, and I don't know, Google it because I was curious what it was. Turns out that's where Bob Dylan, speaking of Buddy Holly, saw Buddy Holly 3 days before he died.
That's
and
right.
That's what he attributes a lot of his, desire to be a musician to that concert.
The myth goes that the kind of the passing of the torch, as it were. I was doing a little research. I interviewed a guy named Johnny Western, originally Johnny Westerland from Two Harbors, who was the guy that ended up moving out to Hollywood and writing and singing a theme to called The Ballad of Paladin for Have Gun Will Travel. And he played with Johnny Cash for 7 years. And he told me a story that I related to the folks at the Duluth Armory, that Bob had actually hitchhiked down in 1957 to see Johnny Cash at the Duluth Armory. And when he told, according to Johnny Western, when he told Johnny Cash that, when he met him in Nashville, he said, "Johnny, I saw you at the Duluth Armory. I not only saw and heard you, I breathed you."
Wow. I'll have to pass that along to Davis, our Cash. He'll love that story.
Oh, yeah, please do. Well, we're very excited to have such a organization as the Duluth Playhouse. But let's talk about how cool the refurbished North Shore Theater is.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a great space to perform in.
Say, Chris, who did we get to? Oh, we got Annie Fleischman. Great. We will call Annie afterwards to tell her how we can hook her up with the tickets. Congratulations, Annie. 2 tickets to the $1 Million Quartet tonight. The last night, and then there's an afternoon show tomorrow. We've got Drew Black on. Drew, you really sounded good. Why don't you... we do have a big announcement here on Stars Over the Prairie. Starting next week, we will be adding another 10,000 watts to our broadcasting power. What does that say there, Chris?
I'll tell you. The new sign says it'll be 610, 650, 103.9, KDAL, Twin Ports, Iron Range, Northland News Radio as of the 1st.
We're picking up 10,000 watts. We're going to be broadcasting all over the Iron Range, up to Canada, and I believe northwest Wisconsin and the upper peninsula of Michigan. Drew Black, why don't we do this? Why don't you just You got an original song you can play for us?
I don't know that I have an original to do. I could do a little Neil Young.
Yeah.
All right, we got about a minute and a half, so we may have to cut you.
How about another little bit of Carl?
I could do that, yeah.
True Black is Carl Perkins on Stars Over the Prairie.
Well, I'm sitting here wondering, can a matchbox hold my clothes? Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering, can a matchbox hold my clothes? I ain't got a lot of matches, but I got a long way to go. I'm an old poor boy, a long, long way from home. I'm an old poor boy, a long, long way from home. Guess I'll never be happy, everything I done was wrong. Well, let me be a little dog till your big dog comes. Let me be a little dog till your big dog comes. When the big dog gets here, show him what this little puppy done.